Hi, everyone, and welcome once again to the Horror Podcast, featuring myself, Peter, and the Professor Tim Vergulish. This is Screams After Midnight.
Hello, thank you. What a wonderful intro, Peter.
Oh, you're so kind, Timmy. So kind.
I got cat hair on my microphone.
I've got tons of cat hair in my microphone. I don't even try. But, I have to warn everyone right now. I've been up for a long time. I'm a little bit loopy, bit tired, so I might say some nonsense in this episode. If you think I'm normally hard to understand with my accent, it may be worse this time because my words might slur into each other. Maybe not. I'll see what I can do. But I be
Plus,
talking.
you're drunk as fuck.
Oh, nah. Well, see, I've never been drunk in my life, Timmy. So
Well, I'll change that as soon as I go over there in spring break.
yeah, come spend spring break in Scotland, but it's a nice, cool 10 degrees. Ah dear. Yeah, we talk about horror movies,
hmm
which you may not realise from our chatter, but we do occasionally. And
Yeah.
this week we are going to talk about a movie. Now we had to double check what movie we were talking about because me and Tim thought two different things. Because Tim thought we were going to talk about a movie called We Are Still Here, and I thought we were going to talk about a movie called We Are What We Are. Luckily, we talked to each other and mentioned
Yeah.
the movie before actually sitting down to watch it. It's actually, we're talking about We Are Still Here. I was the one that got it
Yeah.
wrong. So, the
It is
professor wins again.
it is like pretty similar. Both start with we, both like semi long titles, a little longer I feel like than you usually
Yeah,
get. I think they're like both on Netflix, like right next to each other.
yeah. That was basically what happened. But yeah, we are still here. And we'll start spoiler free. We'll go into
Mhm.
spoilers, into the spoiler crypt as we do about halfway through. And this is a movie about a sort of older couple, not elderly, but upper middle aged couple.
Mhm.
Yeah, in their 50s probably, late
Yeah, I'd
50s.
say about
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
and they move into this new house, kind of in the middle of nowhere. Which, by the way, in a horror movie, never move into a new house in the middle of nowhere. Like just don't do it. And uh, weird things happen, and weird neighbors warn them about things, and there's more to it, but I can't really say much more without getting into spoilers.
Right. Yeah.
But this was an interesting one.
Yeah,
I liked it.
but you didn't love it.
I almost loved it.
See, this was pretty middle of the road for me. This is actually the second time I watched it. I think I'd watched it last year, probably around October time, and then I kind of rewatched it for the podcast, and it's like I don't know. I feel like I want to like it more because like I actually do like the title. I like the cover art. I think looks kind of cool, and there is some interesting ideas in the movie, but I don't know. I just feel like it doesn't come together all the way.
Well, I do kind of agree with that, but I actually do think that it's very good up until a point. I
hmm
think I really it's got a really weird cold open where it introduces to this couple before it
hmm
cuts to the title, and it's a really weird kind of like somber thing. And honestly, I had no idea what this movie was about when I put it on. I had
Yeah.
zero clue, and I didn't know what to take from that opening. I was like, okay, I guess it's going to be a supernatural movie with a ghost or something, but like I'm not sure. Uh,
hmm
but what I like about it, I think the direction's really strong. Like I think the mood
hmm
is set up really quickly, and there is like a unique mood to it. Like there's a oh we're in this house and things might happen, but it's kind of pulpy. Like you've got this neighbor dude like warning them and telling them this story, like the backstory of the house because the house is like 150 years old and it's
hmm
this happened here, blah blah blah. And I thought that was all really cool, and I liked the slow build of it.
Yeah.
I think ultimately where it kind of fails, even though I kind of ended up loving it again after this,
hmm
is that it escalates really quickly about 20 minutes before the end,
Yeah.
and then Like that's like the movie. It feels like it ramps up super quick, rather
Hmm.
than like it's slow build, slow build, slow build. Oh, spike! Like,
Yeah.
and that was a little bit weird. And I think some of the stuff that happens in that last 20 minutes goes against the more, I don't want to say grounded, but like more laid back sort of supernatural tone
Hmm.
that the movie has. But in that last 20 minutes, you would think you're maybe in more of a slapstick splatter movie almost at times.
Yeah. I definitely enjoyed the ending, and then I guess you can't go into too much without spoilers. Yeah, there was some stuff that I did like. I don't know. I feel like I kind of go a little back and forth on like the design and of the like I don't know what you want to call it, the monsters or ghosts or whatever
Mm.
that were in that. I thought it was interesting. They looked like a little different, but I don't know. I felt like some of the CGI was like a little spotty, like not bad, but not great either.
Yeah, I like the look of them, but there was some like weird CG moments. But
Yeah,
I like the general design of them.
yeah. It's I don't know. It's just really hard to say because I feel like this for me it just falls like very squarely in the middle. Like like I definitely didn't hate it, but yeah, I wasn't like after I was done it, I wasn't like, oh man, that was a great watch. One of my new favorites. Something I like to come back to. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, all right, that was good.
I definitely liked it more than you did. I liked this more than a lot of films we've done recently. I liked it more than Intruders. I liked it more than
Mm-hmm.
what else did we do recently that I was lukewarm on? I can't remember. But
Yeah, no, I definitely liked Intruders more than this.
nah, I definitely didn't. I think this had
Yeah.
a lot more uh, build to it. Like I kind of just enjoyed the characters like figuring things out because they seemed so like more normal and laid back. Like they weren't like
Hmm.
freaking out. It wasn't like that. Because when shit does go down, it kind of goes down. And while this is kind of one of my complaints, it goes down so suddenly that they're just in complete shock of what's
Yeah.
going on because they weren't really at that point. It's just a
Yeah.
shame. I think there's a couple of key things that detract from it for me in the last act, which I can't even begin to talk about without
Yeah.
spoilers. But uh, I thought the cast was mostly good. I
Yeah, I didn't
thought
have any problems with them.
Um, I thought the time period was good because it's
Hmm.
not set present day. I'm not even sure what time period it was set in, but it felt like
I I was kind of assuming maybe like late 70s, maybe
yeah,
early 80s.
yeah. I was feeling late 70s, early 80s as well.
Yeah.
Uh, but it has that kind of feel to it. The creepy neighbor dude's good.
Hmm.
I liked a lot of stuff about it. No, honestly, it was kind of. This is a weird thing to say about a horror movie, but it was just a really comfortable horror movie to watch. Like I just kind, it was just kind of nice, and I was enjoying the maybe
I
not so original spooky things that were going on, but it was like,
it,
but it wasn't like in my face
mhm.
and trying to like insult my intelligence with it. It was just doing it very well.
Yeah, I think I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's just very much like there in front of you. Like there wasn't really a lot of uh, like an ambiguous nature to it. You kind of, I don't know. I guess you don't have to think too hard about it, but at the same time, it's not like you know super dumb or cheesy or anything like that.
Also, I think it comes from a completely different perspective than normal. You don't tend to have these movies with characters this old.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Is interesting to see these kind of like I don't know what generation or whatever you'd call them, but yeah, they're like kind of like older um parents, like kind of like the age they would be like if when the kid's old enough to go away from college, and then like they have their kind of hippie friends. So yeah, this definitely was not the typical college students, hot, young, attractive kind of characters you usually get.
Nah. But I think we'll dive into spoilers because I don't think there's much more we can even say with it.
Yeah,
without doing so. So full spoilers from this point on. Spoiler crypt is happening, and yeah, I think you're being too harsh on this, Tim. You sound really lukewarm on it.
Oh, I am lukewarm on it. Again, it's just right in the middle for me. I'm not saying it's bad or that I hated it. I just didn't overly love it, you know.
Fair
It,
enough.
it's
Fair
it's
enough.
just kind of it's one of those things where it's like, you know, how like you can like a movie but you know don't really get excited about it. Like I liked it. I'm just not like, oh man, like yeah, like super like amped up about it. It's just like, okay, yeah, it's there. It was good.
I think you've rephrased that exact same thing like 4 times now.
That's what I'm just that's how I feel.
um, so yeah, I like the backstory. I like that they set up this whole idea that this family were run out of the house as it went on. There was a couple of good
Mm,
shock moments. After the fact, I don't really understand why the creepy neighbor dude killed the waitress that answered the door. Like, did
mm.
she really learn anything from seeing him trap the door that required her to be killed? I don't know. But the
Yeah,
gunshot did make for a good sort of like startling moment. So
yeah.
fair
I think
enough, I guess.
yeah, I like that aspect of the story that it's not just like there's a little bit more to it than a typical ghost story. You know, like it's not just a haunted house. It's like, well, yeah, there are these spirits, but there's like kind of this other thing, this like evilness that um like people are being like sacrificed to, and then it kind of incorporates like the whole town into it as well. So yeah, like
Yeah, the whole town basically like every 30 years this house needs like sacrifices of specifically a family or the
yeah,
evil will spread to everyone else. But the weird sort of part of it that came out of kind of nowhere for me was that the ghost things that were terrorizing them, or well, kind
mhm,
of terrorizing them, mostly terrorizing guests they had in their house rather than them
yeah,
themselves.
yeah,
Um, they weren't actually the thing that were sacrificing to. That was just the ghosts of like one of the families in the story that
yeah.
were previous sacrifices. So I'm like, so what exactly is the darkness then that they're sacrificing this to? That's never ever really brought up when you think about it.
Yeah. It's like wow, if the if the ghosts are this bad, and then they're like not even like the actual bad guy.
Yeah, they're not even
And that was
the actual main threat, which is kind of
yeah.
weird.
Mm,
But I liked all that build up and just to sort of like I think what I liked about it, it almost played like a slasher movie where people kept getting
mhm.
killed without the main characters knowing it until the last like 20 30 minutes. I kind of like that structure to it. But
Yeah.
again, I did feel kind of weird when it pre ramped up when, you know, the guy gets possessed after the seance. And I was
Mhm.
like, that was where the movie kind of lost me a little bit.
Mhm.
Because his like being possessed and talking was like, okay, that's just kind of taking me out of the more believable sort of nature of this so far.
Yeah.
Like, it
That
just felt a bit too goofy.
yeah, that was a little weird. Um yeah, I wasn't a big fan of that part cuz that was like just like a little bit before like the townspeople start breaking in, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cuz I did actually like that part of the ending like once the town people are breaking in and then it's kind of like the ghosts are like killing the townspeople and then it gets like really crazy. I thought that was cool. But yeah, like before that with whatever his hippie friend's name was, yeah, him getting possessed was did seem a little off.
Yeah, it was just kind of weird. But, well, the thing with the whole townspeople coming in is that
Mm,
I like it. I enjoy that in and of itself, but it felt out of tone with the rest of the movie. Because
yeah.
once they came in and the ghosts are all flying out of like left, right, and centre, like killing them and burning them, and like the creepy neighbour dude when he eventually gets killed, his head
Mhm.
is squeezed and burned until it pops onto the main characters, and it feels like something out of like Brain Dead
Yeah.
rather than what this movie's been kind of building the entire time.
Yeah. So do you think it would have been better if it was just more of a kind of like maybe quieter, creepier vibe throughout the whole thing, or if they were kind of like balls to the wall, crazy gore splatterfest since the beginning?
I don't. I think that's a really weird question because they're two completely different movies.
Yeah.
With this one, it's mostly the former, so I would say the former. They should have just stuck to the tone that you established out the rest of the movie.
So, well, like I guess maybe more. I was thinking, like, do you think it would have been better if they had kind of stuck to one tone?
Probably, yeah.
Mm, okay.
Because I think like the poignant ending they have that, like they never actually tell us why the ghosts don't kill them, because it's
Hmm.
brought up that they should have been killed like ages ago. They've been here for like 2 weeks. Usually, whoever moves out of this house dies much quicker than that.
Yeah, like the
And
townspeople seem like they're getting frustrated. Like, oh,
yeah, and obviously it ends with like we don't see it, but apparently the ghost of their son who's been dead, and this has been brought up because the mum thinks it's the son that's been trying to contact them.
yeah,
And it turns out he's one of the voices, but he's not the only thing there.
yeah.
And it ends.
So there's like a third like entity in his house. There's like that ghost, and then the ghost of that like former family, and then the evil thing underneath.
I assume there's tons of ghosts. I'm assuming that everyone who died in there's probably like swarming around in the voices.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. I kind of thought they were kind of like that one, like main family they were talking about
Mm.
in the movie. There was like what there's running like the funeral home or something.
Yeah, running the funeral home,
Yeah.
and the story to like for people to burn them alive was that he was selling the corpses and burying empty coffins.
Yeah.
You know, but no, I did like the ending part. It was kind of weirdly out of tone with the rest of the movie, and then that
Yeah.
final scene of like her going down at the basement, and then him just saying, "Oh, hi, Bobby," because that's as if he's also seen their son, and then it cuts to the title again.
Yeah.
That felt like it was back in tone with the movie before it went batshit insane.
Yeah.
But that said, though, I enjoyed it. I mean, it knocked a little bit of points off for me, but it was
Mm.
like it escalated certainly.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that, and I enjoyed most of the movie before that too. Like I actually
Mm.
kind of liked the atmosphere that it was building.
Yeah.
But no, do you have anything to add, Timmy?
I don't know. Again, it's like it's just so like hard for me to talk about or to have like too much to talk about because it just again with the way I feel, it's like yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but why do you feel that, Timmy? Let's get to the root of this. Why do? Oh, my camera's
Well,
on.
I don't know, like the you okay? Yeah, you got blurry for a second. I feel like the first half had like some good moments, but it was just like a little boring for me. I thought it dragged a bit, and then yeah, I don't know, something about the way the ghosts looked. Like I thought it was like an interesting idea to kind of make these kind of creatures that looked like all like kind of like fiery and ash and stuff. Like that's like a cool idea, but when you actually saw it, a lot of times it just looked kind of cheesy to me.
Hmm. It's funny because
Um,
both the things you just said I disagree with. I thought the pacing in the first half was good. I enjoyed everything it did there in that sense, and I liked to look at the villains. So continue. What's next?
yeah, I don't know, and that was just like a little boring for me. And then, uh, like the ending was like a little exciting, and then the actual story itself, I do like and think is pretty cool. Like I like it's a cool idea that it kind of starts off as like this haunted house thing, but then there's a little more to it, and then you get not just ghosts but the whole town involved in this kind of ancient evil entity thing. So I definitely thought that was really cool, and I agree with you that the ending is a weird tonal shift. But honestly, I did enjoy it. I thought it, even though it doesn't really fit with the movie as a whole, I guess, I thought it was still cool and entertaining. So I don't know. That's I guess how I feel about it.
Um, when
No,
they
I don't want to come off as too negative because I did like it. Like I'm not saying that it wasn't a good movie or that I hated it. It's just at the end of the day, it's like it didn't like blow me away.
like, oh Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
oh,
get some water.
not at hand. Yeah. No, I was just laughing because you reiterated that same point for like a sixth time.
All right. Well, I mean, you're asking me how I feel. That's
Well, no, I
that's how
am,
feel.
but like,
Oh.
I don't know, like,
Mm.
I don't know. I guess I just disagree. I guess I just disagree with the pacing being boring. I guess in the first half and whatever, but I was quite engrossed in the first like 2/3 of it.
Maybe it's because I do feel like I liked it a lot more the first time I saw it. I don't know if it's just the second time, maybe I don't know, kind of knowing what happened or something. Maybe it just didn't work as well for me on a second viewing. Um, yeah, because when I first saw it, I remember afterwards kind of being like, oh, like yeah, that was like a pretty like solid flick. And then this time it was like, it lost a little bit for me. But,
Okay.
yeah.
Um, I thought it kind of broke its rules at one point, though. I thought
hmm
because the young couple that come, the older people never see because they die before they ever interact with them.
hmm
Um, the woman leaves the house and is actually driving away in the car, and
Oh yeah,
it must be like like half a mile down the road when the ghost
yeah.
kills her. I'm like, wait, can the ghost just go that far away from the house? Is that part of this? Like, they never really
Yeah.
played with that. Like, I thought that was maybe leading to stuff happening later, where the
Yeah.
ghosts would like actually go outside and do stuff, but it never did.
That's kind of interesting. I didn't really think about it that way, but yeah, you're right. That is kind of weird.
It just kind of happened, and we never really brought it up again. So, uh, whatever. This ended up like a really quick episode. We don't have a whole lot to say on it, which is weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish I had more to say, but yeah, like you said, I said like the same thing 6 times already. So
So I make it 7. Go on.
no, I'm good. I'll probably reiterate one more time when we get to ratings. So
That's true. Uh, yeah, nah.
I'd say give it a watch, though. I mean, I think it's a definitely a good rental. It's
I
not something I would say you need to buy or own.
I mean, honestly, I'd barely even heard of it before you suggested this last week,
Mhm.
and I'm glad you did. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like, this came out last year, by the way. It was a 2015 movie. If you're looking for
Keep,
if there's sorry,
keeping score.
if you're keeping score, yes.
Yeah,
I like to keep track of that. I like to know what years my movies came out in.
of course.
I think it's
Who doesn't?
important. Any good-natured individual who keeps track of everything they've ever watched and has like a database and graphs.
It's years are just a number, man.
Oh jeez, alright. I warned you this was going to be a rambly one. I don't. Okay, how many biscuits out of 10 are you giving this one, Timmy?
I give it a 6. Yeah, decent, good for a watch. Not my overly favorite.
Okay, okay. I am going to go with 7.5 out of the 10. It might have been an 8 if it didn't have that goofy possession scene. And if I thought the last 20 minutes jived with the rest of the movie, even though I liked that 20 minutes.
Mhm.
But yeah, 7.5, which is about triple of what I gave Crimson Peak just to upset Tim.
Well, see, unlike you, I understand that people have different opinions. So
Oh,
yeah,
someone's
I am
salty.
fine.
Someone's salty.
Yeah, put me on a cracker.
All those flavours, Tim, and you choose to be salty. Be sweet, don't be salty. Salt's the
I,
worst.
I don't even know. Is that an expression over there?
What?
Salty? That's not something we say in the States.
Yes, it is.
No, no one says that.
I've seen Americans say it's being salty.
No,
That's such a thing.
no.
Oh my fucking god, Tim. That is not a UK thing. That is. Oh, never mind.
It's not a common thing.
I've seen Americans use it online.
Not commonly. I'm sure some weirdo uses it every now and again, but that's not a common expression here.
Sure. Sure. Maybe in your neck of the woods, Timmy. Sure.
Okay.
See, now I'm being salty, you dick. Right, anyway.
That's what we usually say. Don't be a dick. Don't be a prick. Douchebag. No one's ever like, don't be salty.
You...
We love salt over here. We put it on everything.
I hate salt.
Oh, bullshit. You eat tons of salty stuff.
No, I hate putting salt on things. Like,
Okay.
I never put salt on food, ever.
Not even Uh, steak.
No, not even steak.
All
That's
right.
included in the everything.
I can't even think of like foods you put salt on. I don't know.
I actively do not eat the fries at McDonald's because they pre-salt them. I'm having none of
Really?
that. Yeah, disgusting.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Vile.
No.
Salt, mayonnaise, and egg. That's my three worst enemies in life.
I agree with the mayonnaise.
That and ginger people. Have we stretched out the end of this enough to resemble half an hour? Yeah, 26 minutes. That'll do.
We've probably alienated anyone, everyone that either by what they eat or say or look like.
Well, if they're ginger and like salt.
That's true. The trifecta of evil.
Interestingly, the taste of ginger I quite enjoy. Like gingerbread cake, Tim, and gingerbread men and stuff.
Okay.
That's nice. Why is that so funny? I don't. All right, guys.
I feel like you're like accusing me of thinking something.
Well, I don't know what goes through your head, Tim. So much shit goes through your head.
Nah, I wouldn't call it shit, but.
Yeah, sure. Excrement then. We'll call it excrement. All right, I think we'll wrap up. We'll put you out of your misery, dear listeners and viewers, if you are somehow still with us. I don't blame you if you've turned it off by now.
They're still here.
I don't think they are.
No, they are still here.
Oh, very good. That's what you did. That's what you did there. This has been Screams After Midnight. Do check out all the other stuff we do. Here in the Mail Fuzz Network, we have the 1.21 gigawatts movie stuff. That's the regular movie reviews. We also do the TV reviews on a weekly basis at Almost Cancelled, and we do a DC Comics podcast called Comics from the Multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
Check out our friends at Ronan's Reviews. They do written content of movies and albums and concerts. There'll be a link in the description, so check them out. And, alright, Tim, plug your Kickstarter for a minute, will you? I know you want to. You're over there itching.
I got a Kickstarter going on for a new comic book. Very appropriate for this show. It's a horror-based book called Veterinary Clinic. Just go to Kickstarter.com, type in Veterinary Clinic. Should be the first one that pops up there. We just got a little bit over 50% this past weekend, so still got a lot of days going strong, but any little bit helps.
Cool. Mm-hmm. And once it's out, if you've backed it and you've received your copy and you've read it, I want you to send a review back to Timmy that says that you liked it, but it didn't blow you away. It's kind of middle of the road.
It's not like that's such a bad thing. Like, you know.
No, I'm only joking because you said it like 6 times, Tim. I don't really care. Dear. Yeah, this has probably been the most shambolic episodes of this in quite some time.
I loved it.
I bet you did. I like we are still here. I thought it was a good time. Had some faults, but I was into it as I was watching it, so I can't say much more than that. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe and rate and stuff on iTunes. It helps us out a lot. Shares on Twitter. Spread the word, although we're probably not convinced you should with this episode. But we do appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching. Keep watching scary movies. Don't...
Yeah. You just want to leave it at that? Just don't?